Uncle Hammer's here. Page 121, chapter 6, page 121. I understand you had your first trip to Strawberry today, Cassie, Uncle Hammer said. What did you think? Big Mom stiffened, but I'm pleased to have this opportunity to air my side of the Strawberry Fair. I didn't like it, I said. Them old Simpsons. Mary, I feel a bit hungry, Big Mom interrupted abruptly. Supper still warm? Yes, ma'am, said Mama, standing. I set it on the table for you. As Mama stood up, I started again. Them old Simpsons. Let Cassie get it, Mary, said Big Mom nervously. You must be tired. I looked strange at Big Mom, then up at Mama. Oh, I don't mind, said Mama, heading for the kitchen. Go ahead, Cassie, and tell your uncle about Strawberry. That old Lillian Jean Sims made me so mad I could just spit. I admit that I bumped into her, but that was because I was thinking about that old Mr. Barnett waiting on everybody else in the old store before he waited on us. Jim Lee Barnett? Asked Uncle Hammer, turning toward Big Ma. That old devil still living? Big Ma nodded mutely, and I went on. But I told him he shouldn't have been around there waiting on everybody else before he got to us. Cassie! Big Ma exclaimed, hearing this bit of news for the first time. Uncle Hammer laughed. You told him that? That's my girl. Yes, sir. I said softly, wondering why he was laughing. Oh, that's great. Then what happened, baby? Stacy made me leave, and Mr. Barnett told me I couldn't come back no more, and then I bumped into that confounded Lily Jean, and she tried to make me get off the sidewalk. Then her daddy come along, and he... Big Mama's eyes grew large, and she whispered hoarsely, Cassie? I don't think. And he twisted my arm and knocked me off the sidewalk, I exclaimed, unwilling to muffle, good word, Mr. Sims had done. I glanced triumphantly at Big Mom, but she wasn't looking at me. Her eyes, frightened and nervous, were on Uncle Hammer. I turned and looked at him, too. His dark eyes had narrowed to thin, angry slits. He said, he knocked you off the sidewalk, Cassie? A grown man knocked you off the sidewalk? Yes, sir. This Lily Jean Sims. Her daddy wouldn't be Charlie Sims, would he? Yes, sir. Uncle Hammer grasped my shoulders. What else did he do to you? Nothing, I said, frightened by his eyes. Except he wanted me to apologize to Lily Jean because I wouldn't get in the row when she told me to. And you did? Big Mom said I had to. Uncle Hammer released me, sat very still. No one said a word. Then he stood slowly, his eyes icing into the cold, distant way they could. And he started toward the door, limping slightly on his left leg. Christopher John, little man, and I stared after him, wondering. But Big Ma jumped up from her chair, knocking it over in haste, and dashed after him. She grabbed his arm. Let it be, son, she cried. The child ain't hurt. Not hurt. Look into her eyes and tell me she ain't hurt. Mama came back from the kitchen with Stacy behind her. What is it? She asked, looking from Big Ma to Uncle Hammer. Charlie Sims knocked Cassie off the sidewalk in Strawberry, and the child just told Hammer. Big Ma, in one breath, she still holding on to Hammer's arm. Oh, Lord, Mama groaned. Stacy, get Mr. Morrison. Quick now, quick! As Stacy sped from the room, Mama's eyes darted to the shotgun over the bed, and she edged between it and Uncle Hammer. Uncle Hammer was watching her, and he said quietly, don't worry. I ain't got to use David's gun. I got my own. Suddenly, Mama lunged to the side door, blocking it with her slender body. Hammer! Hammer? Now, Hammer, now you listen to me. But Uncle Hammer gently but firmly pushed her to one side, and brushing Big Ma from his arm, opened the door and bounded down the steps into the light rain. Little man, Christopher John, and I dashed to the door as Big Ma and Ma ran after him. Get back inside. Mama called over her shoulder, but she was too busy trying to grab Uncle Hammer to see that we obeyed and we didn't move. Hammer, Cassie's all right, she cried. Don't go making unnecessary trouble. Unnecessary trouble? You think my brother died? And I got my leg half blown off in that German war to have some redneck knock Cassie around anytime it suits him? If I'd have knocked his girl down, you know what happened to me? Yeah, you know all right. Right now, I'd be hanging from an oak over yonder. Let go of me, Mary. Mama and Big Ma could not keep him from reaching the car. But just as the Packard roared to life, a huge figure loomed from the darkness and jumped into the other side, and the car zoomed angrily down the drive into the blackness of the Mississippi night. Where'd it go? I asked as Mama slowly climbed the steps. Her face under the glow of the lamp was tired and drained. He went up to the Simses, didn't he? Didn't he, Mama? He's not going anywhere, Mama said, stepping aside and waiting until both Big Ma and Stacy were inside. Then she locked the door. Mr. Morrison will bring him back, said Christopher John confidently, although he looked somewhat bewildered by all that had happened. If he don't, said little man ominously. Good word, ominously. I bet your Uncle Hammer will teach that old Mr. Sims a thing or two. Round here hitting on Cassie. I hope he knocks his block off, I said. Mama's gaze blazed down upon us. I think little mouths that have so much to say must be very tired. No, ma'am, Mama, we ain't. Go to bed. Mama, it ain't but... Mama's face hardened, and I knew that it would not be in my best interest to argue further. I turned and did as I was told. Christopher John and little man did the same. When I got to my door, I asked, ain't Stacy coming? Mama glanced down at Stacy sitting by the fire. I don't recall his mouth working so hard, do you? No, Mom. I muttered and went into my room. After a few minutes, Mama came in without a word of reprimand. She picked up my clothes from where I had tossed them at the foot of the bed and absently draping them over the back of the chair. She said, Stacy tells me you blame Big Ma for what happened today. Is that right? I thought over her question and answered. Not for all of it. Just for making me apologize to old dumb Lily Jean Sims. She'd not have done that, Mama. Papa wouldn't have... I don't want to hear what Papa would have done. Mama snapped. Or what Mr. Morrison would have done. Or Uncle Hammer. You were with Big Ma, and she did what she had to do. And believe me, young lady, she didn't like doing it one bit more than you did. Well, I muttered, maybe so, but